Thank you for inviting me to this TEDx event. I had a little bit of reluctance in signing up for this, and I don't know how effective I was going to be talking about the issues that I hold dear to my heart. So, but I decided to come up and talk about a couple things. Uh, I didn't write a huge speech or anything. Actually, I didn't write a speech at all. I come from an oral tradition that constantly evolves, and I changed my 6 words about 3 times today. So, but we always, in our communities, we always use humor as a way to begin something that's serious. And I want to tell you a little story. It's a hunting story, actually, and I think the person that's sitting in this room probably knows what it's going to be about. That went hunting with me that one day. It was a cool fall day, sunny, beautiful weather. I mean, it was great. I got our boat ready. We went out to Ravens Bay, and we started setting out our decoys. You know, it must have been 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was just admiring the scenery. It was beautiful out there, seeing the cattails and the blue sky, and far off in the distance you'd see ducks flying by, and all of a sudden I seen stars. Like clunk, I heard a clunk in the back of my head. And I turned around and I said some cuss words to my buddy and turned around like that, and he was looking at me like, you know, what did I do? Well, what he did was he hit me in the back of the head with one of the lead weights. He goes like this here with the lead weight and bang, nailed me in the back of the head, almost knocked me out. And he says, you know, things happen for a reason, Gerald. And he says, what were you thinking? And I said, I was thinking how beautiful it was out here. So that's my funny story, you know, but it's really nice to be here. And speaking about that conflict, I was working at a POW this weekend called Battle Point. And Battle Point happened on October 5th, 1898. It was the last armed conflict between the U.S. Army and a native tribe, native people, that happened less than 50 miles from here. How many people know about that? A few of you do, but not everybody. You walk into a classroom, history classroom, and very few people know about it. Our kids don't know about that. So I worked over this weekend, and I was thinking about coming over here and trying to figure out what I was going to say about inclusion. So I was sitting there and I started thinking about history and culture and language and those types of things, and how the government policy of assimilation practically destroyed over 500 nations, cultures, and histories in this country, and how that's not talked about or taught in our schools. A lot of times we tell our kids about these stories, and they go to school and they ask their teacher about it, and sometimes it's not really talked about. Why is that? You know, that's a question I always have. Why can't we include the truth about history and culture, history in this country, about what happened, what really happened? We talk about there is some mention of historical trauma and how our native communities are dealing with historical trauma today. And we got, that's not the answer really. It's part of the answer. But I think the first thing is that the American people have to understand what happened as well. When you look at, I do talks once in a while. A couple of years ago I talked to some reading groups, and I go to Minneapolis sometimes. I talk down there about some of these issues. And people tell me, they say, it's the government. It's the government. What can we do about it? And I say, you are the government. It's not the government, it's you, an individual person, that makes the government happen. democracy is not about who has the majority. To me, democracy is about taking care of the people that can't take care of themselves, or helping people. So that's, I read that somewhere. I can't remember the book, but I read it quite a few years ago, and that stuck in my mind. And I always thought that there was an Indian person that said that if the people lead, the leaders will follow. So when you look at government, that's, think about those things. Also wanted to talk about service. When I was growing up, I heard stories about our warriors running across the battlefields of France and Italy, Africa, Korea. The Bowstrings, the Whites, the Howards. We all served in one capacity or another. And we do that for a number of reasons. But the main reason is carry on that warrior tradition, plus the love of our families and our land. So our service is not because we are patriotic. We are patriotic, but it's not the main reason, We have, in our ceremonies, I raised the flag over there a couple times for one of our veterans that passed on. The family asked me to do that every year, and I'm really honored to do that. He served in World War II, and when he came back, he said, well, I tried to go and celebrate coming back from World War II, but they wouldn't let me into a bar to have a drink with my friends. That was in the 40s. Same thing after the Korean War. That was, my dad fought over there. He said he was there for 13 months. And when he looked at the people that he shot over there, he said one looked at him like that, and he was shocked that they looked like him. They were brown with black hair. They're Mongolians. They're fighting for the communist Chinese. So he said that really disturbed him, and it still disturbs him to this day, So our people have made a lot of sacrifices for this country. A lot of times we don't remember that as a country, as a government. The other couple items I wanted to talk about were current politics. We know where that is. I don't think I want to go there now. And tribal politics. I know there's a couple organizations that have the leadership programs. Those are pretty effective. But it seems like we don't always elect the people that need to be elected into our government positions, especially on the tribal level. I don't know how we change that right now, but a solution for the future is educating our kids, getting a little more focused on language and culture in our classrooms and providing those opportunities. Our tribal governments today get a lot of money from the government, federal government. They're for services, basic services. But what we don't get money for is language and culture programs in our schools. A strong identity makes a strong person, I believe. I look at that and I think about my own kids, my beautiful granddaughter that danced here this morning, my beautiful son, my daughter, and those other kids were probably my relatives too. So we got a lot of work to do. I look at language and culture programs as a way to exit out of poverty in our communities. I heard on KXC that Scott was talking last couple weeks ago about the unemployment in Itasca County is around 10%, I believe. Just past Deer River, there's a community there with unemployment rates that are probably 25 or 30%. It's gone down since we got our casinos. You know, what was discussion about the unemployment rates in our communities by the overall population? It's still like that in almost every single community. In Inger and Ball Club and White Earth and Red Lake, worse than Red Lake. What do we do about that? You know, those are questions that I'd like people to consider when they think about tribes. Not just casinos, not just hunting and fishing rights, but how those people provide for their families. You know, when it's people are unemployed, it's difficult for the kids to learn in school. You know, I'm proud to say that I work for Deer River. We work really hard over there. We got an awesome team, you know, and a couple of our people are here today. You know, that's when I graduated from Deer River High School in 1976. Never thought I'd be back there, but I'm back. You know, I'm proud to be there. So I just want to offer a couple solutions, you know, that I think would be very effective in our schools. One is that Invest Early program. My granddaughter went there, that little girl dancing today. She went there and she thrived. A lot of kids go there, low income, middle income, high income, they thrive together. And I think that's what we need to do, is focus on early childhood education. When you develop programs that are effective like that, I think it works. So, thank you. My time is up, and I really want to thank you for giving me this opportunity.